el favor de su atención y aquí nos vemos y nos escuchamos la próxima semana. Que tenga usted una excelente semana y aquí nos vemos después. La próxima semana, ya lo dije, ni modo, así es. Bye.
Chao.
Zócalo, la principal plaza pública de México. Poco lograrán si no abandonan su egoísmo y aprenden a respetar.
Broadcasting live from Houston, from the space city to the world. You are watching Now Media Television.
Good evening and welcome to Salaam Namaste. Broadcasting from Now Media Television in Houston, I am Saji Salam. On this show, we'll be talking business, politics, and entertainment. We'll meet some fascinating business owners and politicians and cover entertainment, especially from Bollywood. And to our viewers in Mexico, bienvenido a Salaam Namaste. This evening we have with us two amazing entrepreneurs, one addressing the hardest trend in the startup world, and another whose company has been challenging industrial products and monopolies that have been around for over 100 years. Without much further ado, let me introduce to you Arvind Mani, CEO, co-founder and CEO of River, an electric scooter startup that's all set to transform the electric vehicle space in India. Hey, Arvind, welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Thanks for joining in all the way from Bangalore, India.
Hey, thank you, Saji. Nice to be here.
So, Arvind, people are very curious to know what's going on in the electric scooter space and your startup. But before that, let's talk a little about you. I mean, what is your background? How did you get here?
All right, so I am an engineer and I'm also an MBA after that. So I used to work for close to a decade in petrochemicals. I used to buy and sell petrochemicals. I used to work for a publicly listed company in India with a combined turnover of close to around $200 million. I used to be their commercial head, taking care of both purchase and sales with the bottom line responsibility. So in my close to a decade experience there, I bought a company for them in the UK. It was a downstream acquisition. So that's how I entered into the business world. And then I always wanted to start something of my own, and then I got an opportunity to work for another EV startup in Bangalore, where I was the head of strategy and operations for 2 years. And after that, I started River along with my co-founder in March 2021. So that's how the journey happened.
Mm-hmm. And could you talk a little bit about the electric scooter market in India? Because the electric scooter market differs from country to country. So for our viewers in the US and Mexico, it would be great to know how the market for first off the two-wheeler market in India, and then the scooter market, electric scooter market in India. That'd be nice.
Sure. So, the word scooter has different definitions for different people around the world, right? You have the Lime and the Bird in the US, which you call scooter. But what we call a scooter in India is typically this form factor, what is right next to me. So, So India is the largest power two-wheeler market in the world. So we sell close to 20 million units. At peak in 2019, India sold close to 21 million units. After that, COVID happened, and last year the market was at around 16 million units of total two-wheeler sales. So this is not only electric, right? This is the entire two-wheeler sales. But last year, electric scooter sales was close to 700,000. Which is 10% of all scooter sales in India and around 4% of all the two-wheelers being sold in India. So the market is growing phenomenally. The electrification, especially in the scooter form factor, is quite large. Almost 10% of all the scooters being sold in India last year were electric. So that's actually a great trend. And electrification is happening at much higher pace in the urban world in India.
In your opinion, why is this happening? What are the drivers for people switching to electric? Is it the price of petrol, or what are the drivers?
So there are multiple drivers, the primary being price of petrol. So in India, the cost of a liter of petrol is almost $1.2 a liter. So that is significantly higher compared to the per capita income in India, right? So moving to electric saves money, and that is significant amount of savings for a average middle class Indian. So that is one important driver. The other driver is also the government push. So government has been giving subsidies for buying electric vehicles, which is almost 25% of the cost of the scooter. So that is another important driver. And this is particularly happening in urban cities in the country, urban and semi-urban cities in the country, where the average daily commute is anywhere between 20 to 30 kilometers. And there are electric vehicles available today, including our first product, which gives almost 120 kilometers of range on a single charge. So the use cases are also advantageous in an urban environment, primarily because these are products that are used for intra-city commute, and the range anxiety is very low when it comes to such products. So these are the top three drivers. One, of course, the cost of fuel. Number two, government push. And number three, it makes perfect sense for intra-city commute.
I'm always curious to know, what inspired you to start up River?
Yeah. Okay, so it's a combined inspiration between that of mine and my co-founder. So I've been always in manufacturing, right? And I'm a hardcore believer of the ability of India as a country in the manufacturing world. Like, we are great at manufacturing. India is the largest producer and exporter of power two-wheelers in the world. And so that is my hardcore belief in India as a manufacturing destination. The other side, where my co-founder Vipin, he is an automotive designer. He has spent close to a decade designing and developing two-wheelers for Honda between Japan, India, and Southeast Asia. So he comes with acute knowledge and information about how do you design a two-wheeler, and also what kind of two-wheelers appeal to the Indian market. And I come from a hardcore manufacturing and commercial experience, right? So this is a combined vision. So River is a combined vision of both of us in our ability to create a global world-class product from India.
So how did you go about once you decided to get this started?
Yeah. So, building a hardware business is tough anywhere in the world, especially so in India, more so in India primarily because Indian funding market is very attuned to building apps and aggregation businesses and mostly online services. Hardware is tough primarily because the gestation time is quite long, because the investors have to put in money. The product development time is almost 2 years, right? So, and they have to wait for 2 years for the product to reach the market and all that. So the gestation time is quite long and in hardware business. So what we did is we went about fundraising for the product. We approached a lot of Indian VCs. We approached a bunch of international funds as well. And we asked for a check of $2 million to put 15 prototypes on the road in a year's time. And that was the right pitch at that time. And we were able to raise that capital. with that 2 million, we set about building a team, and in a year we had a team of around 80 designers and engineers. We put 15 prototypes on the road. Now that we have prototypes running on the road, our pitch is slightly different. You give us $10 million and we will put up a factory, do all the things that is required to mass produce these vehicles and start selling them in a year's time. So March 2021 is when we got the $2 million. April 2022 we managed to raise another $11 million, and today we are in June 2023. We have raised cumulatively around $25 million, and we have a factory ready. We have an R&D set up with over 340 people working, and we are on track to start selling the product in August 2023.
Wow, it's really amazing to hear that you built this all up in just under 2 years, and that in the middle of COVID. This is just incredible. So great job on this so far, Arvind. And let me take you to another related question here. What role did your friends and family play in this whole venture?
So it's always important to have support from the family, right? So there was a year of time, which was right in the middle of COVID, when we decided to start River, and we were fundraising at the time. It took us almost a year to close the capital and the money hit the bank, right? So, and that is a year of no salary. My wife was footing the bills. So it's always the support from them, both emotionally and financially, is extreme throughout.
Mm-hmm. So let's talk a little bit about the current stage of River in terms of where you are with design, prototype, and basically a little bit about the life cycle of the product at this point.
Sure. So we did the product development in around 5 stages, and the first stage was designing. Then the second stage was to put 1 prototype out there. The third stage was to put 15 prototypes out there. So with the 2 million of seed, we completed that. That took us almost a year. And after that, the next 2 stages were about building a pre-production batch vehicle, the first stage, and then taking it to mass production, the 5th and the last stage. So now we are at the last stage where we have almost 50 vehicles being tested on roads across the country in different temperature conditions, etc. Our factory is ready for mass production. We are doing trial production right now, and we will start selling the first vehicle by end of August in India.
A great conversation with Arvind so far. Let's come back after a quick commercial break.
Oye, Lily dice que AT&T le da a todos las mejores ofertas.
Minus the air quotes.
Las mejores ofertas.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Te lo dije, aquí las mejores ofertas son para todos con una variedad de planes.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
En AT&T les damos a todos nuestras mejores ofertas en cada smartphone.
Think, how often do you take the time to set goals? And when you set those goals, how often do you hit them? The problem is the word goal setting. We all have goals, but goals are just wishes. Goals are what we want. What we really need is called result setting. My name is Katrin Becker, and what I do is create tailor-made result plans that ensure people will hit their targets. If you are committed for real results, let's chat and see which program is right for you and your team. Goals are just what we want, but together, results are what we will achieve.
Hello, my name is Charles Sanders, and I'm a personal injury attorney with the Rose Sanders Law Firm, based in Texas and with offices in Houston, Dallas, McAllen, and El Paso. We assist individuals throughout the entire state who have suffered harm due to the negligence of another person. With my experience as an insurance adjuster, I understand and I know exactly how to counter the strategies employed by insurance companies, and I'm bringing this knowledge to you. We handle a wide variety of situations ranging from car accidents to defamation and unsafe property conditions. We are here to provide support and legal representation at no cost to you. Call us today at 713-221-3773.
As a home or business owner, it can be tough to find a painting company that you can rely on. Look no further. Hi, I'm Courtney Hughes, owner of 360 Painting West Houston, your go-to painting company for residential and commercial needs. 360 Painting's mission is simple. We want to provide you with the highest quality finish and the best painting experience possible. Our company's residential and commercial painting services are founded on 3 core values. First, quality. We ensure the use of premium paints, high quality finishes, and proven painting methods. Second, professionalism. We are committed to professional and responsive painting services. We coordinate and plan projects around your schedule and will treat your property with the utmost respect. And lastly, customer service. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. So before laying a single brushstroke, we will make sure that we understand your vision for your home or office, and we'll do all that we can to paint that vision into reality. We strive to complete every project to your specifications, and we ensure professional, accountable, and reliable service from the first brushstroke to the last. So the next time that you need your home or business painted, give us a call for your free estimate at 713-829-1581.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
Welcome back to Salaam Namaste, where we will continue the conversation with Arvind Mani. What do you think are the key features that makes a river different from some of the other electric vehicles out there?
Sure. So, as a brand, we are focused on one particular segment, which is what we call utility lifestyle, and we are targeting solo entrepreneurs, primarily anyone who is picking up a trade in the country, who has a need to carry things on the vehicle, in addition to using it as a vehicle of commute from point A to point B. So that is the whole target audience that we go after with the positioning of utility lifestyle. And true to the positioning, we have a lot of utility features built onto the vehicle. Like we are River Indy has the largest storage in any scooter out there. It's like 55 liters of storage compared to the top selling scooter in India with around 17 liters. So it's almost 3 times the storage compared to the top selling scooter in the country. We have large 14-inch wheels, which is in comparison to 10 inches in a regular scooter in the country. So large 14-inch wheels talk product for better rideability, better maneuverability, also large ground clearance. So the product is extremely capable in terms of maneuvering through any road conditions. So large storage, larger wheels, and number 3 is a customization ability. So we have also built Inti in such a way that you can easily mount on an array of accessories ranging from pannier boxes, back boxes, mobile phone holders, floor cages, etc. That will increase your ability to carry load on the vehicle and making it multi-utility. So these are some of the features that make Inti really unique in its offering. Yeah, so the entire value proposition there is that a lot of utility features is being built into a rugged vehicle without compromising anything on the style. So that's truly utility lifestyle.
Now coming to the financing side of things, and you touched upon the challenges in terms of financing startups like this in India. So where are you, and how much have you raised? What is your plan going forward? Could you talk a little bit about that, please?
Sure. So today we are close to market, right? Next month we are going to start selling. In August we are going to start selling the product. So cumulatively till now, we have raised around $25 million. This is good enough for us to sell the first 1,000 vehicles in the market. And after that, we will be raising a much larger Series B. We're looking at doing a $30 to $40 million Series B early next year once we start selling the product and reach a milestone of around 1,000 vehicles per month. So we have a great bunch of investors on the board. We have 2 mobility-focused venture capital funds, one based out of Israel, one based out of San Francisco. We have a climate-focused venture capital fund called Lower Carbon Capital, which is based out of, San Francisco. We have Toyota Ventures, which is a venture arm of Toyota Corporation, and we have a Middle East-based large conglomerate called Al-Futain. They are a large automotive distribution business based out of Middle East. So it's a very well-balanced cap table, 2 mobility-focused funds, 1 environmental-focused fund, venture arm of a large automotive corporation, and a large automotive distribution business. So it's an extremely balanced cap table today. We've cumulatively raised around $25 million till date, good enough to start selling the first 1,000 vehicles, and then we are out in the market again early next year to do a Series B.
So when it comes to Series B, you're planning to raise about 30 to 40 million, and where is where is that going into? Is it into production? Could you talk a little more about that part?
Yeah. So the initial plan when we start selling in August is to start selling the vehicle in 1 city and scale to around 3 cities by end of 2023. So the Series B, so the sale of 1,000 units, which I mentioned before, is going to be coming from those 3 cities per month. So Series B of $30 to $40 million is primarily scale-up capital, which is meant to scale the operations to around 50 cities across India and reach a milestone of 5,000 units per month sale. So 5,000 units per month is a very important number because that is close to $100 million in annualized turnover. So the bulk of Series B will be used in scaling up operations across the country, scaling up manufacturing, marketing, and working capital.
Okay. Interesting to know. So where do you see yourself and the company in 5 years from now?
So in 5 years' time, we want to be in a position where we are at least present. We are present in at least 300 cities across India, present in at least 2 international destinations, and selling close to 50,000 vehicles per month, which is close to $1 billion in turnover.
Wow, that's pretty impressive targets you have for yourself. And how do you see the?
And the beauty of that is still less. Oh, sorry, Saji. Sorry for interrupting you there. And the beauty of that is, even if we are selling 50,000 units per month, that is only less than 3% of the Indian total market.
Are there government mandates out there saying that you will have this many vehicles that are electric on the road? Any timelines around that?
There are subsidies that the government give to purchasing electric vehicles, which is still live today. So it works more in terms of encouragement from the side of government and policy decisions that is supporting electrification rather than mandates.
we see that the pictures, the videos, and all that good stuff, but people seldom see the challenges that you faced. Could you speak about some of the challenges you faced building up this organization, and maybe the challenges you are facing now as you are getting ready to produce at a mass scale?
So this is a complex business that has got everything, right? We have to do 2 years of research and development to create a product and bring it to this shape. Then we have to put up a large factory. We have to now distribute and sell the products, market, create a brand. So this is one of the businesses where there is everything. There is research and development, there is manufacturing, there is distribution, there is marketing, and there is hardcore sales, right? So it is a different challenge at each stage of the business. So for the last couple of years, the challenge was primarily in developing the right product and developing it in the right quality. So there were challenges around hiring the right talent, there were challenges around fundraising, there were challenges around keeping your focus so that you don't compromise on the product. I think the challenge for the next couple of years primarily revolves around marketing and distribution of the product. So we are starting to produce, the trial production is happening in the factory right now. We are starting to produce for the first time. So the next few months is going to be getting the production line up and ready, and making sure that we're getting the right kind of throughput, making sure that supply chain is streamlined, we're getting the right parts at the right quality at the right price, and after that, distribution. So we want to prove the distribution model in one city, then scale it up to around 3 cities, and then go to 50 cities. So that is a different challenge in itself, right? So there is going to be, the challenges in a 0 to 1 journey is very different from a challenge in a 1 to 10, and very different from a challenge in 10 to 100. But we are excited to see what is in store for us.
So that was, it was really good to know about some of the challenges you faced, and because we don't want, people thinking that entrepreneurship is easy. There are challenges, and we have to have a mindset where we are able to find solutions, and sometimes very creative solutions to address some of those challenges. So that was, thanks.
Oh, absolutely, because availability of, no, absolutely. Just to add on a couple of points, availability of capital is always a challenge, right? Because we've always operated with a year's runway, and we were kind of very proactive in fundraising. Same thing with identifying the right talent, which is extremely, extremely important. We today have a team of around 340 people, all highly skilled designers and engineers. To scale up to a team of 340 in less than 24 months was like a humongous challenge.
Oh wow, that itself is a major feat. We struggle with hiring staff here in smaller numbers, so I can just imagine trying to get to that 300 plus employees hired and onboarded and everything. So that's a phenomenal job right there. For our viewers, many of who are aspiring entrepreneurs, what would be your message to them?
See, I think it's extremely difficult, but it's also extremely satisfying, building it one brick at a time. But all said and done, whenever you are the face of the company, or whenever you are being projected as the face of the company, the most important, the single factor that can actually lead to your success is in getting people to believe in you and stand behind you, because it is their hard work that is really reflecting in your success.
If you were to do this all over again, would you do it?
Oh, absolutely. Yes. Worth every second.
And what do you think you might do differently, if at all?
I think it's you can't plan for every contingency out there, but there are certain mistakes in terms of product development, certain mistakes in terms of hiring, etc., which I will not repeat. But overall, I'm happy with the kind of decisions that we've taken. See, I look at this in a very different light, right? We all take decisions on a daily basis. Let's say we take 5 decisions on a daily basis. On a good day, 4 of them are right, 1 of them is bad. On a bad day, 1 of them is right and 4 of them are bad. But it's very important to take those decisions and move on with life, and that is what I focus on a daily basis.
Great perspective there, Arvind. How can our viewers find you? Are you on social media?
Yeah, I'm quite active on LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn, send me a message, and I make sure that I find time to respond to most of the messages that I get on LinkedIn. You can also come to our website and post a query there, and I also take time out to respond to emails that come through the website.
Great. So great perspectives here, a very inspiring story, Arvind, and more than that, the speed at which you guys have set this up is just mind-boggling. I mean, 2 years, 300 plus team members, ready to roll out into mass production. I think this is award worthy by itself. So thanks again for inspiring myself and our viewers, and good luck with what you're doing, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Oye, Lily dice que AT&T le da a todos las mejores ofertas.
Minus the air quotes.
Las mejores ofertas.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Te lo dije, aquí las mejores ofertas son para todos con una variedad de planes.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
En AT&T les damos a todos nuestras mejores ofertas en cada smartphone.
Hey, are you a small business owner that's struggling to double or triple your revenue and profits? My name is Michael Rager. I'm your business guide with Teach Your Business to Fish. Our success operating system will help you double or triple your profits every 2 to 3 years while actually maintaining some semblance of a home life. Call us at 713-201-5559 and we'll help you become a real success.
En esta era digital, las tarjetas de presentación de negocio son cosa del pasado. De hecho, la mayoría de las personas que las reciben las pierden en cuestión de minutos. La videotarjeta de negocios de Now Media es un video de su negocio especialmente creado por nuestros expertos con toda su información de contacto, los productos y servicios de su negocio, y puede ser enviado de manera rápida utilizando su teléfono móvil. Cientos de negocios ya están viendo la diferencia. Llámenos hoy al 832-384-9588.
¿Estás cansado de la inseguridad, la situación económica y de ya sabes quién? ¿Te gustaría salir de México y emigrar a Estados Unidos? Soy Edmundo Treviño y quiero compartir contigo más de 20 años como inmigrante emprendedor en Estados Unidos. Sígueme en todas mis redes sociales para que juntos logremos ese gran sueño de emigrar y lograr conquistar el mercado americano.
Welcome back. We have with us Zaroof Mohammed. Zaroof is a founder of Zaroof Corp and Zaroof Valves, and he's based out of here in Houston. Zaroof also has several other mechanical devices and is an inventor of the straight flow valve. And Zaroof has 30 years of experience in compressor design, development, and has successfully brought several products from concept to market. His company is disrupting the archaic industrial products, some of which have been around for over 100 years in the oil and gas industry. Zaroof, could you share more about your background? I don't think I have done justice with my introduction.
Sure. So basically I'm from Kerala, India, and I'm a mechanical engineer by profession. So I came to the US in 1990 to do my master's in rotordynamics and thermodynamics of turbo machinery. So I started off at Atlas Copco in New York in the R&D group designing centrifugal compressors. And from New York I went to Belgium to the compressor headquarters for designing next generation products, not just centrifugals but also screw compressors, oil-free screw compressors. I also worked on a high-speed electric motor in '94, which at that time was pretty advanced. From there, I moved back to the U.S., joined York International, developed a new chiller cycle, worked on high-speed electric motors there, and then came to Houston in 2005, where I was a principal engineer for Cameron Compression, in charge of all new centrifugal compressor products in Buffalo, turbochargers in Salina, Kansas, and since I was in Houston, I was also helping out the reciprocating compressor group. After that, I joined Samsung TechPin as the global chief engineer worldwide, and I was responsible for all the products that were coming out of Changwon, South Korea. And I started up their Center for Turbo Machinery Excellence in Houston, which later was spun off and acquired by the Hanwha Group. And in 2009 actually, I left Samsung, started Zaroof Corp, and in 2010 I started Zaroof Valves Inc.
Wow, that is quite an impressive journey. And at what point did you start to think of a new valve?
So it's kind of a long story, but so ever since I've moved into the profession, I've been in the R&D department, thinking of next generation products for the companies that I was working with, and these are major companies. I'm talking about Atlas Copco, a $25 billion company, Cameron Compression, Samsung themselves. And I was working on a complete system, which is basically the entire compression system. And so when I decided to start something by myself, I knew that as an individual, as a new company, as a startup, it's kind of difficult to design a complete system, like a compression system. So when I was with Cameron, I was in charge of developing a new, the biggest product that they had in mind was actually a valve for reciprocating compressors. And this was a different type of valve, and I got information about the market opportunity and the technology, the voice of the customer. And so it was a business decision that I took that I would focus on a compressor valve, which is a small part, individual component, rather than working on a complete system, and that's what I did.
Oh, interesting. So, could you explain what this straight flow valve is? I keep hearing a lot about the valve, but my background is nowhere close to mechanical engineering. So it would be really interesting to know what this valve is and what it does.
Let me show you with an example. So these are all check valves, and what I'm showing here is what's called a poppet valve. There are different technologies which are used to accomplish this, but this is a very good example of all the major technologies. There's actually something called a plate valve, a ring valve, and a poppet valve. So these are all check valves, meaning that the gas is allowed to flow in one direction, but prevented from flowing the opposite direction, right? So the way this valve works is that when the pressure builds up on this side, that's on the inlet side, it pushes down against these poppets, it pushes down against it because of the pressure, and now the gas can actually go in and around this poppet and come out the other side, right? But there are a couple of issues with this particular valve. So like I mentioned, I'm like, if the compressor is running at 1800 RPM, this valve is opening and closing 1,800 times a minute, right? And when it does this, it's actually hitting against this part of the valve and also against this part of the valve. And these are the metal parts of the valve, and these are the expensive part of the valves. And as a result of this valve starts getting worn out, right? And the thing is, once this valve wears out, it starts leaking. And once it starts leaking, then the temperature goes up and the compressor may have to be shut down due to high temperature, or the power that it consumes to do the same amount of work keeps going up, and now the compressor may have to be shut down because it exceeds the motor amps or engine torque. These are critical equipment. I'm like, these compressors, I'm like, especially in oil and gas, is the most critical equipment in the operation. So if you're in a refinery, for instance, this compressor is feeding a hydrocracker. If something goes wrong with the hydrocracker, you're losing millions of dollars per minute, pretty much, or hour. You got to get this compressor back up and running as soon as possible. So they had to pull the valve out of the compressor, and then what they do with these conventional valves is that they had to send it to a precision machine shop where they actually open it, disassemble it, and then they inspect it. And if it is within specifications, they will go ahead and repair these two parts because they are expensive, and then they will replace all the internals with new parts. So this has to be done off-site, so that means you have to have spare valves on-site so that you can get the compressor up and running. So the other issue with this valve is that the valve is actually responsible for the power consumed, so the amount of power consumed. And the reason for that is that the gas that goes in, this opens up and the gases go around it, so it's making a lot of turns, and that results in losses. So that's another major issue. And the other major problem is reliability. So runtime between shutdowns of a compressor, that's one of the major issues. This valve, because of the impacts and things like that, the runtime depends on the application. It depends on whether the gas is clean and the operating conditions, but in general, upstream where you're having oil production, you can expect a valve to run for about 4 to 6 weeks, and then you have to repair the valve. In extreme cases like offshore applications, you might have to replace or service a valve every 2 to 3 days. It's as bad as that. But when the gas is cleaner, pipeline transmission, you're talking about a year for high speed, and in refineries and things like that, you're talking about anywhere from 4 months to maybe 2 years of runtime, right? The other issue is that valves come in different sizes, compressors come in different sizes, and you have multiple stages. So in order to maintain a fleet of compressors, you got to have a bunch of spare parts of different types and sizes and things like that, right? So and that could be millions of dollars in spares, and which is just sitting on your shelf. So that is another major issue with existing conventional valves. So what I came up with is a new design. This is a straightforward valve basically. So it serves the same function. So this is also a check valve. It allows the gas to go in this direction, but prevents it from going the other direction. And it's made to be exactly the same size and outside dimensions, so that it's a drop-in replacement in an existing compressor. So you just pull out the existing valve, this drops in, so no modifications, nothing. It just goes in. The big difference with this valve is that when you have to service this valve, when you open it up, what you can see immediately is that this is what it looks like inside. So there's nothing which is moving up and down. There's nothing hitting against this part, and there's nothing hitting against this part. So now, whereas the conventional valve is consumable, this valve has got a lifetime, life pretty much. I'm like, it's got a 10-year warranty pretty much. So you'd never replace this, a one-time purchase, the outside thing. In order to service this valve, you don't have to send it out off-site. You don't have to send it to a machine shop. All you do is you just push out what we call cartridges or modules. So you just push these out, you throw them off, just like you would do with the internals of a regular valve. You take new ones and put this back in, and put that in by hand, no special tools, nothing. And you just put this back on, and then put in the compressor, and you're off and running. So we are doing two things. I'm like, so we're actually disrupting the valve service industry too, because there's a whole industry around servicing valves, so that entire thing is not required anymore. No precision, no machining, no machine shops, etc. So the thing about this valve again is because of the design of the module or the cartridge, it's very different. So if you take a look at a cartridge, so there's no helical coil springs. So you got a simple central part like that, and then you got two reeds which open and close. So these reeds actually sit like this, and when the valve is operating, these reeds are just opening and closing like that, if you can see that, right? So the runtime, actually what we see is an improvement of anywhere from 5 times to 35 times that of a conventional valve. So that means you don't have to shut the machine down to fix your valves by a factor of, the time is increased by a factor of 5 to 35 times, which is the major thing about valves. The other thing is that this is modular. So irrespective of the size of the valve, whether the valve is this small or whether it is this big, all you do is you take more of these cartridges. So now with this valve, you don't have to stock spare valves. You just buy the housing once, and the only thing that you need to stock are the internals, which are interchangeable between valves of different sizes and different brands of compressors.
Thank you for that crash course in valves. So you addressed some of the major challenges with the existing valves. Looks like there are issues with wear and tear. There are issues with service. There are issues with maintaining a lot of inventory and also safety. And your straight flow valve, I think when I look at it as somebody with no background in valves, it is common sense. It is taking care of some of the big pain points that the industry was used. So, I mean, kudos to you. I think this is amazing. Thank you for joining us. We'll be right back after a commercial break.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
As a home or business owner, it can be tough to find a painting company that you can rely on. Look no further. Hi, I'm Courtney Hughes, owner of 360 Painting West Houston, your go-to painting company for residential and commercial needs. 360 Painting's mission is simple. We want to provide you with the highest quality finish and the best painting experience possible. Our company's residential and commercial painting services are founded on 3 core values. First, quality. We ensure the use of premium paints, high-quality finishes, and proven painting methods. Second, professionalism. We are committed to professional and responsive painting services. We coordinate and plan projects around your schedule and will treat your property with the utmost respect. And lastly, customer service. Your satisfaction is our #1 priority. So before laying a single brushstroke, we will make sure that we understand your vision for your home or office, and we'll do all that we can to paint that vision into reality. We strive to complete every project to your specifications, and we ensure professional, accountable, and reliable service from the first brushstroke to the last. So the next time that you need your home or business painted, give us a call for your free estimate at 713-829-1581.
Welcome back to the show. In the entertainment segment today, we are bringing you a bunch of star sightings, movie trailer launches, and other assorted Bollywood content. Here's a mishmash of star sightings from various Bollywood events for starters.
So for that reason, I prefer to be super positive and loving and warm, no matter how bad my day is going. मैं कोशिश करती हूँ. Yeah, that's it. Only to spread joy and love in the world. It's all due to Sanjana, my stylist. It's Reem Akra that I'm wearing, and we try to keep it very like sultry and glossy. I don't know.
Well, I think it'll always be fun. It's L Beauty, and I think that beauty awards are always special because I think it makes us all feel really loved and special. So very happy to be. Finally, we have Saif also on What Women Want. He'll be talking about modern marriages. So I think this show, the season 1 was such a big success. We had people who loved all the topics because so people spoke so openly about different matters of their life. And I'm very happy because this time we have some amazing, exciting guests. We've shot with my mother-in-law. So I think it's going to be better than season 1.
Come on everyone, let's put our hands together. Bush, barabari, ghar se shuru. Te estoy casando, no te salvas, te tengo temblando. Por un beso me derrito, ya me estás abriendo el apetito. Si tienes miedo, yo te lo quito. Baby, acércate un poquito.
Their favorite stars and the performances, and I think everybody's debating who's going to get the awards, and all that has already started.
In case you want to know who's designed her, just go on her Instagram page and you will see the tag.
Why shouldn't comfort and style go together?
Actually, very excited to be at this awards. I'm also getting an award, and I think मेरे लिए बहुत exciting बात है that they're giving me the Trendsetter award, and I hope that I keep doing things that make them believe in me to get that award. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the evening, and I hope to have some good fun.
I think there's a lot of surprises inside. I'm going to win an award as well, so yeah.
storytelling is not easy, especially when you're packaging an epic like Ramayana into a 3-hour movie. I say this because I watched Adipurush last week. I love the movie, and I see the effort that has gone in to make something like this, package something like this into a movie. Here we are sharing some of the movie trailer releases and other clips from Bollywood events.
मुझे जानकी के काबिल समझा आपने कि आपको ये विश्वास था मुझ पे कि मैं जानकी का रोल निभा सकती हूँ, क्योंकि बहुत ही कम एक्टर्स होंगे जिनके लाइफ टाइम में उन्हें ऐसा रोल निभाने का मौका मिला होगा. सो आई फर्स्टली फील वेरी वेरी ब्लेस्ड. पूरे मन से, पूरी श्रद्धा से, पूरे रिस्पेक्ट से ये रोल निभाने की कोशिश की है. मुझे कई बार होता है आपके किरदार ऐसे होते हैं, ये एक ऐसा किरदार है मेरे लिए. श्रद्धा पहले से तो थी, लेकिन फिल्म के दौरान वो श्रद्धा और बढ़ती गई, क्योंकि मैं और इस किरदार को समझती गई और एक बहुत ही प्योर काइंड सोल, बहुत लविंग हार्ट और एक बहुत स्ट्रॉन्ग माइंड का जो कॉम्बिनेशन है, मेरे लिए जानकी का किरदार वो था. यहाँ पर वो पोस्टर है नहीं, लेकिन अगर जो आप पोस्टर आया है उसे देखेंगे तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है उसमें पीड़ा है, उसमें दर्द है, उसमें इंतजार है, उसमें यादें हैं, लेकिन उसमें डर नहीं है. और उनका जो विश्वास था उनके राघव पर कि उनके राघव आएंगे और उस अशोक वाटिका में रहना, उस विश्वास के साथ, मेरे लिए वो बहुत ही बड़ा इमोशन था. एंड पूरी श्रद्धा से, पूरे प्रेम से मैंने निभाने की कोशिश की है, अपना 200% देने की कोशिश की है. बाकी वो भगवान है, हम इंसान हैं. कुछ अगर भूल चूक हो गई हो तो प्लीज माफ कर दीजिएगा.
If I told that many times before, if you
I really like to hear the perspectives of these stars during the trailer reviews and trailer launches. I think there's a lot to learn from how the stars are thinking right before a movie launch.
Communication. What is actually communicating to the people is the story that we are telling. Words are just small bridges. The visuals are in cinema, the visual is what tells you the story. And the language doesn't matter. When the language doesn't matter, you are banking on which is the best actor to suit the role. For example, I have the character played by Ajay sir. No, I didn't approach him because I have a relationship with him. I didn't approach him because, okay, I have a Tarak and Charan from Tamil and we have Ajay sir from the north, then it will have a big, nice commercial combination. That is not how I approach it. When we are writing the character, we think, who has the image that can carry this role? The immediate name that propped up in all our story department is Ajay Devgan. I immediately called him and said, "Sir, I need 15 minutes of your time." And I narrated him his role. The first question he asked me is, "When do you need my dates?" So when things fall in place, they fall in place that way. When you approach it in the right way. Of course, commercials are important to everyone, but if your story leads your way, then everything will fall into place.
Thank you for your love, thank you for your support, thank you for your appreciation for this film, which is so precious to us. So I couldn't start answering the question without expressing heartfelt gratitude for all your appreciation, and through you to our audience out there, because your response has been overwhelming to PS1. Great love and excitement to everyone here on stage. Manigaru, we can't wait to see your magic on screen. So I just had to put it out there because I would rather say all that than answer what you just asked.
It's always a great honor working with him. Mr. Maniratnam, this great cast. Like this movie is going to be a bookshelf movie. People are going to see it for the next 50 years. And it's made like that, and they all perform like that. Working with Gulzar Saab again is like home. Sense of confidence, sense of trust, sense of security when it comes with Gulzar Saab. And he loves working with us. We had a great interviews in the afternoon. So there's no communication actually. You just send the words. He's done his research. He's got all this stuff. And the tune comes in. So only very rarely we said, oh, can we change that word? Because can we reverse that sentence? So there's no, like, I don't like this, change this, nothing. He sent me one thing, there are too many words, can you put some more music? So it's been...
Priyanka Chopra has gone international and she seems to be excited to be in Citadel and now in Citadel 2.
I was very clear. This conversation started about 5 years ago, and it's taken that long because the show is extremely ambitious, and there was a lot of development that happened. And this show has the incredible ability to span across every country, every continent. So I didn't even know the story, and I was like, yep, doing it.
Thank you for watching Salaam Namaste. Hope you enjoyed the show. See you again next week.
This has been a Now Media television feature presentation. All rights reserved.
Hey, Lily says AT&T is giving everyone their best deals.
Minus the air quotes.
Best deals.
No need to wink. Others say they give everyone a deal, but not everyone gets the best deal.
Told you, the best deals are for everyone here, with a choice of plans.
You were right.
Is she always right?
Always.
At AT&T, we give everyone our best deals on every smartphone.
En vivo desde Houston, la ciudad espacial. Esto es Now Media Televisión.